shooters, thanks for tuning in again to Long Range Shooters of Utah. Today we're going to be going over a quick product review of the rifles only sling options that are available through our website. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on any new product reviews that we have coming up, as well as coverage of different long range shooting competitions that we attend. So let's talk a little more about these slings. So I'll bring the camera over in a minute, show you up close, but basically we've got two slings here, both available through rifles only. These do not represent the only end-all be-all sling that is out there that it's great for precision rifle shooting. There are a lot available. Short Action Precision makes a great sling, as well as Tab Gear and various others. But this one in particular, or these two in particular, I really like, and we'll go into a little bit of why that is. So the slings we have in front of us here are the Multi-Use Carbine Sling, which is this guy right here, and then we have their precision rifle sling with Bungee. So I'll bring the camera over and show you these up close, and we'll go through some of the features that these have to offer, and then we'll put them to use and do a little bit of shooting. All right, so as you can see here, we have both slings laid out on the table in their full configuration. So let's first talk about the precision rifle sling, because that's the most common one that you're probably going to be looking for if you're tuning into this video. So a couple of things about a precision rifle sling. Traditionally, what makes up a precision rifle sling is the ability to use a bicep cuff, which is on this end of the sling down here. So the idea is that you're able to, in this particular sling, you can detach the bungee. You can take and attach the front of the sling to the front of the rifle using a flush cup and so on, which I can do here on the back side of my rifle. So you'll attach that front end to the rifle. You've got an adjustment point here and an adjustment point here. The idea being that your hand would slip through this hole here and tighten up right around your bicep. And that's going to basically create a triangle between your wrist and your bicep where you're holding the rifle, so the rifle and the bicep, and create this nice solid platform that you can shoot from. So the rifles only sling has that ability. It's got very nice big solid metal buckles with quick release tabs here that are different color, different texture, so that you can adjust both the length as well as the tightness around your bicep here. And then it has the addition of having this bungee portion with a quick detach, where you can attach that to the rear of your rifle. So if you want to use it as a bicep cuff, you can pop it open, sling it on your bicep, and use it in that configuration. Or if you want to use it in more of a traditional patrol type carry and deploy it in that way, you've got this and you've got the bungee. So the one thing that sets this particular sling apart from other precision rifle slings is the bungee portion. Everything else is going to be pretty consistent with about any rifle sling or any precision rifle sling that you get from Short Action Precision or Tab Gear, or there's a few others as well. So the benefit here with the bungee, the idea is that you can use that for a couple of different things. One, when you're carrying the rifle, it acts as a shock absorber. So when you're carrying a big 15 to 20 pound rifle like this and you're packing it around at a match, this is going to be really beneficial in that it's absorbing some of that bounce as you step and walk and so on. So that's one small benefit. The other benefit is when you're deploying it against the Barricade, you can actually push against this and it's going to help stabilize your shot. And we'll show you kind of how that works in just a minute. So that's the benefit of having that bungee. Now, moving on to the Multi-Use Carbine Sling. This can also be used for precision rifles. There's no reason why you can't. The one difference is it does not have the bicep cuff. Okay, it does not have the bicep cuff. But you can use it in that same patrol carry fashion and still deploy it for use on barricades and things like that. When you're carrying the rifle, it does an even better job of absorbing the shock of carrying the rifle and makes it more comfortable, because the bungee, as you can see, is almost twice as long. A lot more easy to actuate. Now, I've actually found in my use of the two slings that I really almost like the carbine sling better than the precision rifle sling, simply because that bungee is so much longer and so much easier to actuate or to use when I'm up against a barricade, or if I'm walking along rabbit hunting or something and I want to get down into a quick position to fire a shot from a kneeling position. I can have that sling slung against my body, kneel down, and because of the flexibility of this bungee, I can get in that position and it's nice and tight. Which brings me to another point. One thing that's an advantage of the multi-use carbine sling, or even the precision rifle sling to an extent, is when you get one of these slings all slung up and you're in position, it's often a little bit troublesome to get it in the right configuration for your body. In other words, tightening this up. A lot of times you'll get into a position and go, oh, that's not really comfortable. I need to loosen it up a little bit. So then you've got to pull on the buckle, loosen it. Then you loosened it too much and you've got to pull on the strap to tighten it up. The benefit of the bungee is that when you get in that position, it's got a little bit of give, but it pulls against you as well. So it kind of eliminates the need for that fine tuning of the sling to have it be in a comfortable position that you want it in. So that kind of gives you the overview of the two slings. I'll just go through once again. So when you order the sling, you can choose what kind of connection you want. I actually have both a swivel stub connection and a flush cup connection. You can also get an HK hook connection. You can see here you've got some length adjustment to make it match your rifle and your needs. This here would be the adjustment for the length of the sling itself. Once again, you can pull that tab, loosen it, pull this tab to tighten it. They're different colors and different textures, so you can feel and notice which one's which. This one here is what adjusts the bicep cuff, so that's the part that would go around your bicep. You would tighten that up. And then, of course, you've got the bungee portion down here at the end. This would be towards the rear of the rifle. On the multi-use carbine sling, I've only got a flush cup on this one. You can see you've got a loop there where you can adjust the length. And the one thing I really like about this one is it's got this big, huge loop for adjusting the length. So I simply pull on that, and that's going to make it shorter, and then I want to loosen it up. I just pull on it the other direction, and it loosens up. Really big, easy to grab, no problem. It's got the quick detach if I need to get the rifle off of me quickly. And then it's got this big, long, stretchy bungee that is so easy to use. So that's a quick overview of those two slings. Let's go ahead and put them on the rifle and show you how they're deployed. So right now I'm wearing the precision rifle sling. I've got my rifle set up here. I've got it attached here in the rear on the opposite side. Being a right-handed shooter, I've attached on the opposite side. It's really up to preference. I prefer it on that side. And then the front, you can either attach it on the front on this side, the other side, really up to you. I've attached it to the front of my Evolution bipod. I had this set up primarily for my 22 because I've been shooting a lot of 22 competitions this last year. So ideally I would probably lengthen this up a little bit to run it with this rifle, but we'll see what we can accomplish here without it set up perfectly for it. But as you'll notice here, you've got the bungee here at the top. So if I'm walking along, bouncing along, that's absorbing some of the weight of the bounce of this rifle as I'm walking. And this is very, very comfortable to walk around with. I mean, I could really walk around like this all day, and with this being a pretty long rifle with the can, I run the risk of running into things with that barrel, but it keeps it, you know, about as high as I could get it to be, and really comfortable. I could hike around like that all day. The beauty of the bungee is if I wanted to get into a position, I can get down and I can push against that bungee. So as I squeeze my muscles together, I can pull that in, and it really creates not only tension that's ideal for creating a steady shot, but it allows me the ability to get in that position without having to make a lot of adjustments. So if I didn't have the bungee, I'd be getting in this position and then trying to tighten this up or loosen it up to get it exactly where I want it. If it's too loose, it's providing no stability. If it's too tight, I'm uncomfortable. My eyes are probably too close to my optic, and I'm not able to make a good steady shot. However, with the bungee, I have that flexibility to, you know, get into position, and I've got a little bit of leeway or some variance there that's going to give me an acceptable range that's going to feel comfortable. So I can get into that position, find my target, squeeze off a shot, run my bolt, and so on. So one of the neat advantages of that, so if I'm moving to another position, I'm hands-free, I can grab my gear, I can run, and then I'm back down into my position and able to take a nice steady shot. So that's one of the nice advantages of that bungee attachment, both with the precision rifles version and the multi-use carbine sling, having that bungee. Once again, I really like the multi-use because it gives me a longer bungee. It's a little softer and easy to push on. And as you can see, I'm kind of a scrawny bugger, so I don't have as much strength as some of you big muscle-bound guys do to actuate that short, stiff bungee. The bigger bungee seems to suit me a little bit better. But that's a little taste of how that works. Now let's take, and I'll use the quick detach to get out of this thing. So I can very quickly get out of it. Now this is where the bicep cuff comes into play. So you notice here I have the cuff there. I've got an adjustment for the the cuff tightening around my arm, and then I've got the adjustment for the length here. So what you want to do is give this a half turn, run your arm through it. You want to run the cuff up above your bicep. This little guy, you'll want to get it around on the other side so it's out of your way. And then you simply pull that. You can do it all with one hand. And you want to cinch this up nice and tight. Not so tight it cuts off your circulation, but nice and tight, once again, above your bicep, as high up as you can get it. And that really cinches it on there. Now, if I want to get out of it, I simply pull on the other colored tab, and that's going to release it and let me out. Now, you can imagine if I'm in a competition and I'm going to use this part of the sling for one part of the stage and then switch to something else for another part, it's kind of tricky to get in and out of that. And in that case, you're better to run either the multi-use carbine sling or run this in the traditional fashion with the bungee, because it's a lot easier to transition and get out of it. So now that we have it in this configuration, what I'll do is take my hand, place it, the back of my hand against the sling like that. And once again, this is not ideally set up for this rifle today. It's set up more for my 22. I need to lengthen it. But that's how you would use the bicep cuff. So once again, it creates kind of a triangle here and gives me a steady position to shoot from. Now, if I want to adjust it, if it's not long, it's too long, I can pull this and tighten that up very quickly. In this case, once again, this isn't ideally set up for this rifle right now, so it's a little bit off, but that accomplishes the same thing, but in a different fashion. So you can use this standing, sitting, kneeling, but really this is more designed for, you know, shooting without a barricade or a front rest or anything like that, just offhand shooting. So that's how that sling works. Let's go ahead and pop on the carbine sling and I'll show you how that works. All right, so I've got the multi-use carbine sling on now, once again running it on a precision rifle. Let me just show you real quick. So once again, this has the longer bungee here on the back. It's got this nice big loop where you can adjust, pull it to loosen it up, or pull it down to adjust it and make it tighter. This thing is extremely comfortable. I could walk around with it. It absorbs some of the shock of the rifle bouncing up and down, keeps it nice and snug to my body. And then of course, if I want to deploy it, I can loosen it up and I can get down into position and take a quick shot. And using that bungee, I don't have to have that sling perfectly adjusted to the exact right length, because that bungee has some give to it, has a lot of give to it. And it also, as I push against it, it really helps to stabilize that shock, helps the recoil, helps everything. So that's why I really like the rifles only and why we carry those in our store. So I've got a target out here at 310 yards. It's just a human face, kind of a hostage type target. So I've got the other camera running on it, and I'll go ahead and kind of simulate a little match. I'm by no means the best PRS shooter in the world, so bear with me. But I'm going to go ahead and take a few shots here and just show you how you can use the sling in a barricade and kind of push against the sling to create a little bit more stability when you're shooting off of different obstacles. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I've got my bolt back. We'll do it just like we were in a competition. Buzzer goes off. I would slide into position here, put my bag on the barricade. Now, you'll notice as I push my shoulder out, or if I rotate my arm down, it's actuating that. I can even tighten it up a little bit and get even a little bit more out of it. But I push against that sling and it's going to give me some great stability in making these shots. And I knocked my target down. So as you can see there, pushing against that sling creates a little bit more stability, and then I can jump up and I'm hands-free and I can run with it. If I need to tighten it up, I can do that. Keep it nice tight to my body, and I can go to the next stage or whatever I need to do. Pick up my brass, carry my bag, all my gear, and get out of there. So pretty awesome little rig here. So you can pick these up, of course, on our website, longrangeShootersofUtah.com/shop. That's our store. And once again, this is the rifles only multi-use carbine sling. And then we'll also show you the precision rifle sling as well. Now I've got the precision rifle sling on. I'll turn around here and show you. It still has a bungee, although it is shorter. And then of course you have your bicep cuff down here. and your adjustments are made down here as well. So you've got the strap here you would pull on to tighten it, and then you've got these little tabs you pull on to loosen it up. Once again, in carrying the rifle, it does provide a little bit of cushion as it bounces. And then of course, if I want to adjust it, I can adjust it up tighter to my body and create even more cushion. It is a little bit more difficult to actuate the bungee because it is shorter, therefore it is a little stiffer. But the same principle as the multi-use carbine sling applies, and it gives you the benefit of the bicep cuff if that's something you're looking for. So let's go ahead and try it out on the Barricade. We got a human face size target at 310 yards. We'll just take a couple shots and show you how this thing is used. So once again, I'm going to push against the sling, push my elbow down, shoulder back, and push against that sling. And it looks like I broke my target. But you get the idea. So pushing against that sling creates a little bit more stability in my shot. And then once again, got the ability to go hands-free, grab my gear, run to the next stage if I need to. Really neat advantage of the Rifles Only Multi-Use Carbine Sling and the Precision Rifle Sling. Both of these are available on our website, longrangeShootersofUtah.com/shop. The Precision Rifle Sling runs about $130. The Multi-Use Carbine Sling runs about $85 or $90. So pick one of those up and put one on every one of your rifles, and it'll really help you shoot a lot better and also give you the ability to get down to position and take quick snapshots. So thanks for watching and tuning into the review. All right, I got a couple rounds left. I broke my target at 310, so I'm gonna take a few shots at the, what is it, 510? So we'll go 2.4 mils, and we'll take a couple shots at that one. So here are at SHOT Show 2016. Got Todd McGee from Dead Air Armament.
Hi, I'm Kelly McMillan here.
We're gonna give it a shot right now.